Hello Star Wars fans, and welcome to episode 108 of Journey into Legends. Today I'll be reading the Star Wars Rebellion comics. Rebellion ran from 2006 to 2008 for a total of 16 issues. Today I'll be reading up to issue 14, as the last two issues are part of an overarching crossover event called Vector, which I will review eventually once I read the other series that it covers, including Knights of the Old Republic, Dark Times, and Legacy. Anyways, Rebellion is a follow-up to Star Wars Empire, which I wasn't a huge fan of. Hopefully this series can improve on Empire's weaker aspects. Without further ado, let's read and review. Alright, our first arc is called My Brother, My Enemy, and this one continues the story of Luke and Janek Sunbur, as well as Joran Sol from the last few issues of Empire. In this arc, Janek deserts the Empire and joins his childhood friend Luke in the Rebellion. However, it was all a ruse, and Janek betrays Luke, which I found great. I said in my last video I didn't want Sunbur to become a rebel. I thought he worked a lot better as an indoctrinated Imperial. However, other than that writing decision, I didn't really like a lot of this arc. Luke, Leia, and others felt very out of character, with Luke being extremely emotional and arguing with Leia, and Wedge just shrugging off the fact that a seemingly brainwashed Joran Sol just tried to kill Dina. The writing here just felt very sloppy, and the story being told was not good enough to warrant the writing cutting corners like this. Our next arc is titled the Ahakista Gambit, and this one mainly follows a character from the previous arc, Will Tarson, an undercover agent for the rebels that works for the crime lord Reyes. We get appearances from multiple familiar characters, including Rasha Bex, the Imperial officer who betrayed Boshek in the Empire comics, and the most exciting return for me was the Jedi Darka Nil, who was actually the main character of the Nomad storyline from Star Wars Tales, so that was a really big surprise to be sure, but a welcome one. Anyways, this arc involves a raid on the planet Ahakista to destroy something called the Hub, a supercomputer that coordinates and traffics the Imperial Navy. Overall, this was a pretty good arc. It was great to see Darka Nil back, and I actually enjoyed all the characters in this one. Our final arc is called Small Victories, and it follows Luke, Leia, Dina, and the rebels on an infiltration mission to Banastar Station to destroy the station. This one had some good action, especially the last issue where Dagger Squadron arrives to save the day. But overall, this was a fine story, nothing too special. I don't know if Vector, the next arc, wraps this series up in a way, or if it's solely focused on continuing the story of that crossover event, but as the last regular story arc of the Empire and Rebellion comics, this was a bit underwhelming. However, like I said, on its own, it's decent. So overall, I think this series, like Empire, didn't do very much with this era. These storylines were decent, but extremely forgettable, and didn't contribute much to the actual story of the era. All of these new characters don't have a lasting impact on the EU, and it doesn't seem like these stories will ever get referenced or continued beyond this, so unfortunately, while I did have some fun with the Empire and Rebellion comic runs, I really wouldn't recommend them. Anyways, thank you all for watching. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe, and stay tuned for my next review where I'll be reading Tatooine Ghost by Troy Denning. See ya.